Thank you.
Or STR.
Thank you. Good morning. This is the April 6th session of the Commerce City Municipal Court. I'm going to call the folks that are in the courtroom first, and then those of you that are on Zoom. So if you're on Zoom, please stay muted until I call your case. Okay, thank you. Mary Jane.
Buenos días, todos. Ya estamos en acta hoy en el Tribunal de Commerce City. Por todos que están en Zoom, por favor, pueden mantener sus micrófonos en mute hasta que le llame su caso. Muchas gracias.
And when I call your name, please approach the podium. The court first calls Mary Jane Jones, case number 357. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Sorry for the delay. Did you have an opportunity to listen to the video advising you of your rights? Do you have any questions about the rights you have in court or the charge that you're facing?
No.
And it looks like you were charged with following too closely, I believe with an accident. Is that right?
Correct.
Just a moment. I just have to pull up the ticket here because everything's virtual or online these days, and I'm not very good at technology. Not good. It's not pulling up. Is that right? 357?
Yes, but it's only 5 zeros.
Oh, I just pulled up one of the old ones. Okay, thanks. That's why.
And then if you just go straight to the document management,
That's been a while. How do I
No,
look
you're
at
fine.
the,
and then click public.
Okay.
And then-
there it is. Thank you. All right, so it looks like the prosecutor has offered to reduce this down to a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that your understanding? 2 points? No, you're right. It's 1 point. It says to add count to defective headlamp, which would be 1 point. So it'll go from 4 to 1. Thank you for the clarification. Is that how you wanted to proceed with your case today? Has anyone forced you to enter into this disposition? Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment today? And you understand that by entering a guilty plea to the amended charge, you'd be giving up your right to trial and all the rights associated, including your right to appeal? So to the amended charge of 1 point defective headlamp that occurred at Highway 85 and East 60th Avenue. Just a minute. On April, that's your court date? You're here early for court.
Yes, ma'am. I had a doctor's appointment, but it's-
Oh, no problem. Just a moment. Okay, the accident was on 3/23/22. How do you plead to the amended charge, ma'am?
Guilty?
Your guilty plea is accepted and the original charge is dismissed. Is there anything you want to tell me about what happened?
No, I hit it.
Was anybody injured?
No,
Minor damage?
yes,
And is it, I have a note here that you have not had a ticket. Is this ever or in 60 years?
well, 58 years.
This is your first ticket in 58 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And did you have to get your car repaired?
Well, I get an estimate, but I have $1,000 deductible and the truck, the repairs are only 900, so it's minor.
Oh, that is pretty minor then. Well, that's amazing. What I'm gonna do then, because your record, that's probably one of the best records I've ever seen, is I'm only gonna issue the $50 accident surcharge and court costs. I'm not gonna issue a fine. So you'll find out the total in the hallway when you meet with the clerk,
Okay,
and keep that excellent record going.
thank you. Now, is it possible to get a police report? I forgot to ask the gentleman, I'll tell her the gentleman.
Yes, certainly. You can get a copy of that. You can request that when you meet with the clerk. Okay, thank you. You're free to go. You too. And Edwin Ramirez. Good morning. How are you today? Good. Just need a second to pull up your case. That's some crazy wind out there. Did you also have an opportunity to listen to the advisement of rights? Do you have any questions about the rights you have in court? And do you have any questions about the charge that you're facing, which is a 6-point speeding ticket? Looks like you have met with the prosecutor and he's offered to reduce this down to a 3-point improper lane usage. Is that how you wish to proceed with your case today? Has anyone forced you to enter into this plea agreement? Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment today? And you understand that by entering a plea to the amended charge, you're giving up your right to trial and all the rights associated, including the right to be represented by counsel and the right to appeal? To the amended charge of a 3-point improper lane usage that occurred in the 8400 block of Highway 2 on March 23rd. How do you plead, sir? Your guilty plea is accepted and I will dismiss the original charge. I need to take a peek at your driving record here. Do you remember the last time you had a ticket?
What was that, sorry?
Do you remember the last time you had a ticket?
3 years ago.
Okay. I'm not sure if I have the right person pulled up. Do I just search by his name?
No, go back to citation request. Yep, that's him.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on citation number. Yep.
How do I get to the history?
This one's harder. Go
I
back,
know.
I'm sorry.
It's confusing, isn't it?
We got an upgrade on this thing. Go to
Case
his
number?
number, and then you'll have to click his name.
I think I had the wrong person.
Then go, yeah.
Driver's history.
So he doesn't have. one.
Was your ticket out of state?
No, it's here.
Okay, there's nothing showing on your record.
Oh, okay, well, I did pay it off.
Maybe it was a 0-pointer.
Yeah.
Okay, those don't show up on your record. How long have you been driving?
3 years.
3, okay. So the fine on this is 150 plus court costs.
Okay.
You will get the total amount from the clerks out there, and if you need a payment plan, you can ask them about that.
Okay, I'll drop the payment today.
If you need a payment plan, you can ask the clerks about that in the hallway, okay? Do you have any other questions?
I got it.
Okay, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Okay. The court next calls Colleen Goodman.
This is her.
Good morning, ma'am. Are you able to turn on your camera?
Does that help?
Yeah, thank you. It's just easier to talk to people when you can see them.
All right. Sorry about the lighting. There we go.
No, that's fine. So it looks like you talked to the prosecutor and he is moving to dismiss this case without prejudice. I think you have, from his notes, it indicates you have an outstanding warrant on this.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of that because we were here on vacation and the whole incident happened and I live out of state. So I was waiting in the mail for some kind of letter regarding this and I didn't get anything.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't appear in court because I live out of state. So I figured I would call and see what was going on with it.
Well, I'm glad you checked on it because you had an outstanding warrant. So I'll go ahead and grant the motion to dismiss. I'm going to dismiss the case without prejudice. He made a note that he's unable to prove the case because he doesn't have any witnesses. And I will waive all costs associated with the warrant, and the warrant will be vacated as well.
Awesome,
So
sweet.
you are free to go. And if you need any follow-up paperwork from the clerks, will you guys send that to? They'll email it to you. So you'll get the confirmation that this has been dismissed via email.
Awesome. I
Okay.
appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go. Okay, the court calls Angelica Arroyo. Morning. Did you have an opportunity to listen to the advisement of rights? Do you have any questions about the rights you have in this court or the charge that you're facing?
No.
And I just need a minute to pull up the ticket. Okay, it looks like you were charged with impeding traffic and no insurance. You said you don't have any questions about what those charges mean? Looks like the prosecutor has offered to dismiss the no proof of insurance and the impeding traffic if you plead guilty to an amended 2-point defective vehicle. Is that how you wish to proceed today? Has anyone forced you to enter in this plea agreement? Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment today? And you understand that by entering a plea to the amended charge, you're giving up your rights to trial and all the rights associated with that, including your right to be represented by counsel and your right to appeal to the amended charge of 2-point defective vehicle that occurred at East 104th Avenue at Walden Street on March 12th, 2022. How do you plead, ma'am? Your guilty plea is accepted and the original charge is dismissed. Is there anything you want to tell me about what happened?
No, the only thing is, I didn't really get small, I went back and throw a couple of comments with ice and soda to my nephew's window. So that's the only reason why I went back. Other than that, I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong.
Let me read the officer's notes here. And did you present proof of insurance?
I didn't have it at that time.
But you did today, though? Okay, perfect. Have you had, you have a New Mexico license? Are you living in Colorado now permanently?
I was living in Michigan, I actually told her to get down here. Not safe, but that's what we're doing.
So you're in the process of moving? Okay. You need to get your license in Colorado within 30 days of living here. So make sure you get that completed. And when, have you had a ticket in New Mexico recently?
And then it's been about, ever since I was probably like 19, like 16.
6 years? Okay. Then I will issue the minimum fine on this, which is $90 plus court costs. You'll get the total on that from the clerks when you go out to the hallway and meet with them at the window. If you can't pay that in full, then you can request a payment plan.
Okay, sounds
Do you have any questions?
good. No, that's.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you. That is so loud. I wonder if they can hear that on Zoom. All right, I'm ready to call the interpreter case, which is Daniel Astulio. I'm sure I didn't say that right.
Daniel Marván.
Yes. Mr. Marban, can you unmute yourself? There you go.
¿Está
Thank
usted ahí,
you.
señor Marván?
Sí,
Yes.
Sir, did you have an opportunity to review your advisement of rights?
¿Tuvo oportunidad de escuchar o revisar sus derechos?
sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the rights that you have in this court or the charge that you're facing?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta con respecto a sus derechos que tiene frente a este tribunal o o a lo que sucedió o los cargos que tiene?
No,
No.
And it looks like you are charged with failure to yield.
Parece que está usted acusado de falla de ceder el paso.
sí,
Yes.
Just a moment, please. Okay. And there was an accident as
Hubo
well.
un accidente también, ¿verdad?
sí, correcto.
Yes.
The prosecutor has offered to reduce this ticket down to a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that
La
your
fiscalía,
understanding?
la fiscalía ofrece bajar los cargos a uno que se llama vehículo defectuoso por 2 puntos.
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
Has anyone forced you to enter into this plea agreement?
¿Alguien lo ha forzado a usted para que acepte este trato?
No,
No.
Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment today?
¿Está usted, ha consumido sustancias o algo que pueda hacer que no deje que entienda lo que está pasando ahora?
no,
No.
And you understand that by entering a guilty plea to the amended charge, you're giving up your rights to trial and all the rights associated?
¿Entiende usted que si yo acepto este nuevo cargo que tiene usted, en esencia usted está renunciando a todos los derechos que leyó en la hoja con sus derechos? ¿Entiende eso?
sí,
Yes.
And that includes your right to be represented by counsel and your right to appeal?
Eso incluye su derecho a tener abogado que lo represente y también apelar si usted pierde el juicio o es, sí. ¿Entiende eso?
sí,
Yes.
To the amended charge of defective vehicle that occurred at North Quebec Street and East 67th Place on March 19th, 2022, how do you plead?
Los cargos que tiene, sucedió eso en la calle Quebec y 67, y eso pasó el 19 de marzo de este año aquí en Commerce City.
How do you plead?
¿Cómo se declara usted con respecto a esta acusación nueva?
culpable.
Guilty.
Your guilty pleas accepted and the original charge is dismissed?
Su declaración de culpabilidad es aceptada y eso entonces crea que el cargo original sea sobreseído.
Is there anything you want to tell me about what happened, sir?
¿Quiere contarnos qué sucedió?
No, está bien.
No, that's fine.
Was anybody hurt?
¿Alguien salió lastimado?
No que yo sepa.
Not that I know of.
Looks like there was quite a bit of damage.
Parece que hubo bastantes daños físicos.
Yo no sabría. Ya eso lo tendría que hablar la aseguranza con la aseguranza.
No le oigo bien. Hable un poquito más alto, por favor. ¿Cómo?
No estoy al tanto de eso.
I'm not aware of anything like that.
Okay, the accident report indicates that the other car had a lot of front end damage.
El reporte policial dice que el otro vehículo tuvo daños bastante serios.
Oh, sí, porque él me chocó yo me atravesé y él me chocó de frente.
Yes, that's right, because I crossed him and he hit me on his front side.
Sir, how long have you had your driver's license?
¿Cuánto tiempo tiene licencia de manejo, señor?
La agarré en el 2016.
I think I got my license in 2016.
And you've never had a ticket before?
¿Y esta es la primera que tiene una boleta policial?
Sí,
Yes.
So even though there was a lot of damage, since your record is clear, I will issue the minimum fine.
A pesar que hubo bastantes daños producto del choque, voy a considerarlo esto y darle el mínimo de multa.
And that is a $90 fine with a $50 accident fee plus court costs.
Esto es $90 más costo de tribunal, más costo de, costo de tribunal, más sobrecargos.
Do you have any
$50
questions?
los costos de cargo. ¿Tiene una pregunta?
No, nada más cómo puedo pagar esto en línea o
No. The only thing is, how do I pay it now? Is this amount?
The clerk's office will send you an email within the next 24 hours with the total amount.
La secretaria mía va a enviarle a usted un mensaje electrónico hoy día o mañana diciéndole cuál es el total que tiene que pagar y también la manera como puede hacerlo.
And there'll be a link that you can pay online.
Y hay una manera, hay un link en la que se puede pagar en línea.
Ok, está
Okay.
bien.
All right,
Thank
that's
you.
fine.
You're free to go, sir.
Muchas gracias. Se puede ir ya.
Gracias.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And the court next calls Sabrina Cruz.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I need just a minute to pull up your ticket. Hang on. I see that you're calling in. Are you not able to access the link to appear so I can see your face?
No, I wasn't able to. I had downloaded the app and
It didn't work.
launched
Okay.
it or
I'm just
Yeah, it
always a
was
little bit,
process.
since this is a criminal charge, I'm gonna ask you some identifying information just to, verify that it's you. So that somebody else isn't calling in and, most people wouldn't want to take responsibility for a criminal case, but I just want to make sure. Just a moment.
What?
I had you pulled up and I hit the wrong button, so I lost you. Your ticket. 3141. You missed court because you were in custody, is that right?
I believe so. I don't remember exactly when the court was off.
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm so bad at this online stuff. Let's see. You missed court on 9/23.
Oh no, I wasn't in custody, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you for your honesty. So do you know why you missed court?
It's just it was at the time it was kind of hard to just get around, and I was still in my addiction and everything, so that was a lot of it.
Okay. What's your date of birth?
7/29/96.
Okay. So it looks like you met with the prosecutor and he's offered, if you plead guilty to theft, he would recommend 45 days of jail, suspended, no further, as long as you have no further criminal violations for 1 year and you have no contact with the Walmart where this offense occurred. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
And I can't remember, did you watch the video advising you of your rights?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions about the rights that you have in court or what the charge of theft means?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Are you or have you ever been a veteran or in the
No.
US Armed Forces?
No.
No, it's a question we're required to ask. I know it's strange. Huh?
Okay.
So we have to hand out pamphlets if somebody has been. And you understand that this charge you could face up to 1 year in jail on this charge?
Yes.
Did you go over what the elements of theft means with the prosecutor?
I did.
Do you want me to read that to you again?
I mean, if you want to, yes, but he covered it pretty well.
It just means that you have knowingly obtained or exercised control over anything of another with a value of less than $2,000 without authorization or by threat or deception and intended to deprive the other person permanently of the use or benefit of the thing of value. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I don't.
And would you like to accept the offer that the prosecutor made you?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to enter into this plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any substances today that would affect your judgment?
No, ma'am.
You understand that by pleading guilty to theft, you're giving up your rights to trial and all the rights associated?
Yes.
That includes the right to call witnesses or cross-examine witnesses that the prosecutor presents?
Yes.
That includes you're giving up the right to have an attorney and the right to appeal if you were to go to trial and be convicted of the charge?
Yes.
And to the charge of theft that occurred on August 14th, 2021 at the Walmart at 5990 Dahlia Street with a total value of $47.47. How do you plead, ma'am?
I'm guilty.
Your guilty plea is accepted. Is there anything, you said something about having an addiction. So could you expand on that a little bit for me to consider when I'm issuing my sentence?
I was using fentanyl and methamphetamine. I wasn't doing very good or anything like that. I ended up going to jail in October, finishing the 3 substance abuse classes in there, life skill classes in there. And since I've been released in February, I've been attending like relapse prevention classes, a bunch of classes through Community Reach. I've been on probation as well, and I've been complying with that.
Are you doing UAs for probation, I assume?
Yes.
What are you on probation for?
Criminal mischief.
And that's what you were in custody for?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have cases pending anywhere else?
I know I do have Lakewood, one Lakewood warrant that's also an older case that I was released from custody with, that I do have court with at 1 p.m. today.
Okay. Are you employed?
Yes.
Where are you working?
It's the name is it's a funny one, okay? It's a landscaping service I do part-time. It's called One Trick Pony.
Oh, so you're doing like all the outdoor stuff? Do you shovel and do all that winter
Yeah.
stuff as well? That's hard work.
Yeah, it is.
Are you working full-time?
It's part-time as of right now, just with my classes and therapies. It's very demanding.
Are you living with family or are you living by yourself?
I live with my mom and my 7-year-old son.
Okay, so you don't have, is your mom paying all the bills?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I'm trying to determine what kind of fine to impose because I don't want to make things too hard on you, but I also have to consider, the charge. So I will go ahead and suspend 45 days in jail. On condition that you have no further criminal violations for a year. So we don't have a probation department, but at the end of 1 year, we'll check to make sure that from today's date. So if you had a violation prior to today's date, it wouldn't count against you. Like if you're still resolving that, but if you pick up a new charge from now forward, that would be a violation of this court order. I forgot to ask you, I have one other question. Does your probation officer know about this case?
Yes.
And are they going to revoke you for it?
No, because it was prior to me being put on probation.
Okay, that's what I assumed. I just had to make a record of that. You also are restrained from going to that Walmart in Commerce City at, you probably know where I'm talking about. Before I do, I just
Yeah.
gotta put it on the record. At 5990 Dahlia Street. So you're not allowed in that Walmart for the next year. And sometimes I know Walmarts trespass people from their properties and all of their properties, but that'd be a separate issue. So if they mention that you're not supposed to be on their properties, this court doesn't have jurisdiction over that. We just have jurisdiction over that one Walmart. So don't go on that property or you could be charged with trespassing, which would be another criminal violation.
Okay.
So the warrant is now vacated since you've pled guilty. There was a $50 warrant fee. I'm gonna waive that. But I am gonna impose a fine of $150.
Okay.
Plus court costs. If you're not able, you'll get an email from the clerks within the next 24 hours delineating the sentence and the fine.
Mhm.
And if you're not able to pay that, then you can ask to set up a payment plan.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
trabajando. En la descripción ha iniciado sección de grupo pequeño. Por favor, espere usted.
Hello?
Good morning. We're back on the record for the April 6th Commerce City Municipal Court morning court. I only have one case here, it looks like on Zoom, and this is Mr. Mendez.
Yes,
Buenos
Mr.
días.
Méndez.
Buenos días, señor Méndez. Hemos
Buenos días.
vuelto en acta y estamos listos para su caso.
Ok,
Good
muchas
morning.
gracias.
Thank you.
Buenos días.
Good morning. Sir, did you have a chance to listen to a video advising you of the rights you have in this court?
Señor, ¿usted tuviste una oportunidad de escuchar y ver el vídeo que le avisa de sus derechos?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the rights you have in court or the charge that you're facing?
¿Usted lleva algunas preguntas sobre sus derechos en el tribunal o los cargos que tienes?
No, está bien.
No, it's fine.
You're charged with speeding 20 to 39 over the speed limit, which is a 6-point ticket.
Usted, el cargo que lleva es de ir de alta velocidad de 20 a 39 millas sobre el límite de velocidad y eso carga 6 puntos.
Ok.
All right.
I see that the prosecutor offered to reduce this down to a 4-point speeding ticket.
Veo que el prosecutor, el fiscal más bien ha rebajado esta boleta a una boleta de 4 puntos.
Ok. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that how you wish
Gracias.
to proceed?
Esta es la manera que le gustaría seguir adelante, señor.
¿Cómo me van a seguir? No, pues sí, seguir y pues pagar la multa que me pongan o no sé qué es lo que puedo hacer. Estoy-
Yeah, I'd like to do that. You know, pay the fine or however this is going to work. Yes, this is fine.
I have a couple questions to ask you just to make a proper record.
Para que toda conste en acta apropiadamente, yo le tengo algunas preguntas, señor.
Sí.
Has
Yeah.
anyone forced you to plead guilty to a 4-point speeding ticket?
¿Hay alguien que le ha forzado para que se declare culpable a esta boleta que carga 4 puntos?
No.
No.
Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment today?
¿Estás bajo la influencia de alguna sustancia que puede impedir su habilidad en entender qué es lo que haces hoy día?
No. Estoy totalmente bien.
No,
Gracias a
I'm
Dios.
totally fine. I'm totally fine.
And
Gracias a Dios.
you understand that by pleading guilty to a 4-point speeding ticket, you're giving up your rights to trial and all your rights associated?
Y si entiendes que en declarándose culpable a este cargo reducido estás rechazando sus derechos de tener un juicio y todos los derechos que están asociados con ese juicio.
Ujú.
And that includes your right to be represented by an attorney?
Y eso incluye su derecho de ser representado por un abogado.
Ok.
All right.
To the amended charge of 4-point speeding that occurred in the 8300 block of North Tower Road on February 20th, 2022, how do you plead, sir?
Entonces a la boleta que de 4 puntos y ir de alta velocidad que estuvo en el bloque de 8300 de la North Tower Road, que fue el 20 de febrero 2022, ¿cómo se declara?
No, pues yo soy culpable, sí lo hice y pues soy culpable porque sí lo hice, sí corrí fuerte en ese tramito. Fue
Yeah, I'm guilty because, you know, I did that. I was responsible and I was speeding in that area.
Great, thank you. I appreciate your honesty.
no, thank you.
Gracias por ser honesto.
Your guilty plea to the 4-point speeding is accepted. The original 6-point charge is dismissed.
Su culpabilidad está aceptada para este cargo de 4 puntos y el cargo de 6 puntos de ir de alta velocidad ha sido desesmitado.
Muchas gracias.
Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else you want to tell me?
¿Hay algo más que le gustaría comentar a la juez?
No, pues yo creo que todo está bien, pues es que sí lo cometí.
No, I think everything's fine because I know that that's what I did.
Okay. Well, it looks like you have 2 other tickets on your record in 2021.
Parece que tienes 2 otras boletas en tu antecedente que sucedieron el 2021
And 1 in 2020 that would still be on there.
y una en
Sí.
2020 que debería estar allí. Yes.
Sí, yo fui a la corte allí.
Yeah, I went to court for that.
Okay.
Comercio.
So based on your record and this charge, the fine is $240 plus court costs.
Listo, entonces basado de su antecedente de conducir, la
Sí.
multa para hoy serían $240 más costos de tribunal.
Ok, está bien.
You will
Okay,
get
that's
an
fine.
you will get an email from the court clerk within the next 24 hours. And that email will tell you how to pay, or it'll give you the total fine owed, and it'll tell you how to pay that or ask for a payment plan.
Listo, entonces vas a recibir un correo electrónico de nuestros actuarios entre 24 horas.
Ok,
Y eso le va a demostrar cuál es el total que debes de pagar, cómo debes de pagar y si se necesita un plan de pago te lo pueden arreglar.
ok, muchísimas gracias.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you. You're free to go.
Listo, se puede ir, nos estamos despidiendo. Buen día, señor.
Muchas gracias por su ayuda y muchas gracias a la señorita, al señor juez. La verdad es que Dios la bendiga. A ustedes también.
Thank you for your help, interpreter, and please let the judge know that I said thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Buen
bye.
día.
Ya no.
Caballero, sálgase de la reunión, por favor.
Es lo que estoy tratando de hacer, disculpe.
No,
Disculpe,
tranquilo.
sí. Lo que estoy tratando de hacer. Creo que ahí está. No. Oye, oye, oye.
I'll probably have like a little fee.
For those of you on Zoom, I'm going to call the folks in the courtroom first. So please stay on mute. And when I call your case, unmute. Okay, the court calls Blanca Rodriguez Cordova. Please come up to the podium, ma'am. Oh, we're still doing stations here. So just the podium is fine. Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Did you have an opportunity to watch the video advising you of your rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the rights you have in this court or the 3 charges that you're facing?
Yes.
Do you have questions?
No questions.
You are charged with animal at large, exceeding the number of pets, and animal attack.
Yes.
The prosecutor has offered to dismiss the at-large and exceeding number of pets charges if you plead guilty to animal attack.
Yes.
You would be restrained from contacting the victim, Corinne Valencia. Okay.
I don't know, Your Honor. Actually, it was my husband that spoke with the lady, not me.
Okay, well, part of the prosecutor's plea agreement is that you would not be able to have contact with her in the future. Do you agree to that?
Stand by, Your Honor. I'm gonna have to let her know not to say.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Y para usted también, cuando estamos en el tribunal, todo está grabado, tenemos que tener contestas verbales. Yo no estoy permitido interpretar gestos. No se puede estar en acta. ¿Está bien? Listo. Thank you, Your Honor.
So yes, you agree not to have contact with Corinne Valencia?
Yes.
And then any restitution for her dog, Honey, would be open for the next 90 days.
All right.
What that means is the prosecutor would have 90 days to determine if she's seeking any money for hospital bills or vet bills for her animal. And if she is, you would be contacted. And you could either agree with the amount of restitution or request a hearing. The last condition is that you are not allowed to have more than 4 dogs in this city that are over the age of 6 months.
All right.
So do you agree with that plea agreement?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to enter into this agreement?
No.
Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment?
No.
You understand that by pleading guilty to animal attack, you're giving up all your rights to trial and all of the rights associated with trial?
Yes.
And that includes the right to be represented by counsel?
Yes.
Did you want me to read the definition of animal attack to you, or have you already looked at that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So to the charge of animal attack that occurred on 3/24/22 at 6465 East 69th Avenue in Commerce City, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Your guilty plea is accepted, and I'll dismiss the other charges, which were at large and number of pets. And before I issue a sentence on this, do you want to tell me anything that happened or your side of the story?
Well, no, just that we have, the dogs tend to get out because they'll come on the patio and they tend to go under the fence. And since the neighbor's right there, it's easy for them to just go over.
Have you done anything to fix your fence so this doesn't occur?
Yes,
What did you do?
well, we fixed it and we patched it up so that they won't be able to come out.
Can you raise your fence?
No, my husband and my sons helped me fix it.
Have you gotten rid of some of these dogs? Because you're not allowed to have this many dogs in the city.
So I'm actually making arrangements to donate them.
Do you know who you're going to give them to?
I was given the number that I can call where I can take them.
Okay. It doesn't look like from this report, the animal control officer said he couldn't see any injuries on her dog. Is that your understanding?
That's correct. There
Okay.
wasn't anything, nothing happened.
Can we have animal control go out and check these things instead of review?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I want to do. All right, ma'am, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna issue a $750 fine. I'm gonna suspend 500. On condition that you have no further animal violations for a year.
All right.
And you have no contact with your neighbor.
That's fine.
There's more. How long do you think you need to donate your dogs or give them away?
Well, as soon as I leave here, I'm gonna call to see what we have.
Okay, I'm gonna set a review in 30 days for animal control to check and make sure that you've gotten rid of the dogs.
All right.
And to check on your fence to make sure that it's sufficient.
All right.
So you need to make, if they say that you need to repair it more than it's repaired, you'll need to do that.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
No.
So the fine you will owe for this today is, oh, I missed one. We also have to set this, I have to reserve restitution for 90 days in case there's any bills that she has related to her dog's injury. So what will happen today is you're going to owe $250 plus court costs. If you can't pay that today, you can ask the clerk for a payment plan. You'll have another court date in 30 days. It'll be a review hearing. And so you'll be contacted by animal control to check on the number of dogs and your fence.
All right.
Okay, you're free to go. Thank you. What did I miss? Are you mad that I did that?
No, I don't know. I just want you to sign right here.
Wait, hang on, I missed something. 1, 2, 3. Review. With animal control, fix, fence,
It's just a red light ticket. It's the wrong person. Beautiful.
Wilfredo Martinez Lorenzo. My Spanish is good. Good morning. Did you have an opportunity to listen to the video advising you of your rights? Do you have any questions about the rights you have in this court or the charge that you're facing? Okay, so it looks like I need to pull up your ticket. Just a moment. Okay, you just have the one charge. You have an animal at large charge.
Yeah, we're speaking of something similar to what my wife had.
Just a moment. Because you only had the one charge, the prosecutor's offer was for you to just plead guilty to the original charge. And he is recommending that you have no contact with your neighbor, Corinne Valencia. Is that your understanding? Has anyone forced you to enter a plea of guilty to the original charge?
No, we are honestly.
Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment today?
No, nothing.
And you understand that by pleading guilty to the charge today, you're waiving your right to trial and all the rights associated?
The interpreter requests permission.
Yes.
The interpreter senses that he's not understanding the terminology.
You have a right to go to trial on this case. The prosecution has to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You are presumed innocent of the charge. You can plead not guilty and set the case for trial. And a judge would determine whether you're guilty or not guilty. Or you can plead guilty today and waive your right to trial. Okay. Okay. Do you need further explanation?
At the moment, it sounds clear.
Okay. So to the charge of animal at large that occurred on March 25th at 6465 East 69th Avenue in Commerce City, how do you plead, sir? Your guilty plea is accepted. I'll find that it's knowing and voluntary.
Yes, correct.
So can you, I'm a little confused. Was this on a different date than your wife's charge?
Sí, realmente la fecha que le dieron el papel a ella, ese día iba a ser yo principal, pero en ese caso estaba yo en un momento un poco mal de la cabeza, un dolor de cabeza, entonces no salí. Entonces yo estaba por detrás de la puerta y le dio a ella. Y al siguiente día vinieron otra vez con el policía. Entonces, well, Your Honor, the issue is that on the date that my wife was charged, that should have been me. but I had to step out at the moment or step in because I had a headache. And when the police had come, it was my wife that answered the door, so she got the ticket. Then when they came back the next day, I got the ticket as well.
You're right. I see that when they came out back to issue your wife the ticket, your dogs, while the officers were there, jumped into the neighbor's backyard, it looks like. What have you done? Can you describe the fence to me? Your wife said you fixed it, but I didn't really understand how.
Bien, sabe, el fence está normal, o sea, está bien, más que los perros, los más pequeños son los que escapan abajo, entonces es la razón que hay uno grande, una grandecito así normales, no digamos de gran tamaño normal, ese brinca, pero la más brinca, como cuando yo llego, y brinca, pero no muerde a la gente. Los más pequeños son animales.
So the issue, Your Honor, is that the fence is actually fine. The ones that are escaping are the small dogs that are able to get through the fence and under the fence. And then we have another dog that's a little bigger that likes to jump when I'm around, but he's harmless.
Y no muerde, no muerde a la gente.
So that dog, that larger dog I'm talking about, doesn't act.
Estamos en arreglo de llamar a un lugar para donarlo,
And of course, the situation, the solution that we're faced with is to find someone that can take the dog, donate the dog. That's what we're working on.
Which dogs, are you gonna get rid of the little ones or that get under the fence?
Yes, the little ones.
Okay, what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna issue a fine of $200. I'm gonna suspend $150 on condition that you have no contact with your neighbor.
Yes.
For 1 year. And that you have no further animal violations for 1 year. I'm not going to address the fence issue with your case because I did address that with your wife's case, and I assume you'll be helping her get that fixed.
All right.
So today you'll owe $50 plus court costs. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you. You're free to go. Happy birthday. Good, how are you? I don't have anything in there. It's all in here with me. Thank you. Okay. All right, I'm ready for Candace Johnson, who's on Zoom. Ms. Johnson, go ahead and unmute yourself and turn on your video, please. There you are.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for waiting. I try to clear out the courtroom first and then see the people on Zoom. So it looks like I didn't pull up the right ticket for you. Hang on for a second. It looks like you have a charge here of speeding, 4-point speeding, 10 to 19 over the speed limit. Did you have an opportunity to watch the video that advises you of your rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the rights you have in court or the charge that you're facing?
No.
Okay, so the prosecutor has offered to reduce this down to a 1-point speeding ticket. Is that how you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to enter this plea agreement?
No.
Are you under the influence of any substances that would affect your judgment today? No?
No.
And you understand that by pleading guilty to a 1-point speeding ticket, you're giving up your right to trial and all the rights associated with that? To the amended charge of 1-point speeding that occurred in the 9200 block of Tower Road on 3/14/2022, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Your guilty plea is accepted. I'll dismiss the original charge. Is there anything you want to tell me about what happened?
I was coming home from work, just ready to get home. I was speeding over the speed, just trying to get home. Officer pulled me over.
You ever had a ticket before?
No, ma'am.
How long have you been driving?
A little less than a year.
Okay. Where do you work?
I work at Einstein Bagels.
Ooh, yeah. Do you guys make the bagels there?
Yes, we do.
Oh. What it was at they wrote it in military time. I'm terrible at that. So your ticket was in the afternoon. Is that right?
Oh, it was like 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay. Well, I'm going to issue the minimum fine I can issue on this, which is $120 plus court costs. You will get an email from the clerk within the next 24 hours with the total fine. There'll be a link on there so you can pay that online. Or if you need a payment plan, you can ask about that as well.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, you're free to go. Thank you.